Levis's PR woman, Juliet Harris, who you and I emailed, and we wanted to get Rachel on the show, our shows. She says Ariana knew exactly, what was happening, slept next to him, could peek in his phone bedside, knew things were going on, shenanigans were going on, that he was out late night and hanging out with Rachel, and was well aware. And, Juliet really puts this on Ariana, that Ariana wanted this to happen, leaked it. So, I don't know. It's hard to say where the truth is. To me, maybe Ariana's just a great actress, but boy, is she to me seems like she is still in love.
I never thought of that, but I'm sure people are going to say no, but maybe. Yeah.
I mean, have you ever see? I've only been cheated on by people who I wasn't really that into anyway, so it wasn't so devastating. I don't know. It wasn't so detrimental.
I mean, yeah, like I understand, like she keeps saying it, your life was ruined and this was filmed in the past, but yeah, like now, like I'm curious, like where are we now, Ariana? Like that's the question for the reunion too. Like where I'm less concerned about you and Lala and blah blah. Like where are you now?
Right.
Like are you okay? Because like at some point you have to move on. We all have to move on from being cheated on, from losing people to death, financial loss. You have to move on.
There are people that they spend their lifetimes, they can never get over people. I know people in their 80s that never got over their first love, their divorce. Oh my God.
Oh
So
my
many people
God.
like that. Oh yeah. Oh, you think it's easy, but for some people, they can spend a lifetime. And I wonder that with her.
Well, that is lost time. That is giving the power to Tom Sandoval, the person that is such a scumbag, according to Ariana and most of these people listening. He has all the power. You want a narcissist to get off on themselves? Her reactions are getting Tom off. He loves it. He loves it. When you don't give a shit about someone, you're like, I don't even know what you fucking said about me, or I just don't care at all. Then that drives a narcissist fucking crazy.
I don't know what Ariana's parents were like, but we often all pick partners like our parents, or we end up in relationships like what our parents had. So I gotta wonder what her background is. And that also plays a part in, can you recognize, what you grow up in oftentimes is what you replicate. And you have to actually lots of times stop yourself from replicating that. You have to make a conscious decision. Okay, I'm not going to marry somebody like what my mother was like or what my father was like, and understand where they're coming from. That's very hard to do. And some people spend their life never having that self-awareness ever. They run from it instead of what you resist persists. My therapist always tells me so.
What you resist persists. I don't even understand that statement. What does that mean?
It means that when there's trauma in your life, right, a lot of people want to move on from it. And at some point you should. But if you don't go back and look at it and see how it impacted your weight, right? Lots of people, we talk about this emotional eating, right? People are overweight and fat lots of times because food is a comfort for them, for something that
100
going on in their life, right? You're a workaholic that I think has issues about wanting or not finding a partner. You have this weird thing about being alone. But anyway,
I like being alone, but yes, I work to avoid dealing with my life. Correct. So I'm not going to disagree with that. I don't want to deal with it.
Okay, but you're at least aware, right? A lot of people are acting out and doing things in their life and self-sabotaging and not getting over somebody because something happened to them in their past, and they don't want to take a hard look in the mirror and go, why did this happen? Maybe it was my fault, maybe it wasn't. But moving forward, when I see myself in this pattern, I'm going to get out of it. What you resist, it keeps showing up. The universe, God, will show you that same lesson over and over and over, and it will make your life harder and harder and harder.
It's called repetition compulsion. That you look, if you don't really like yourself inside, you will choose people that subconsciously are bad for you because you feel that you're a piece of shit. Whether you say you love yourself or not, deep down, you don't. You're insecure, and you will choose people that fulfill what you really feel about yourself, which is not good. And that is repetition compulsion.
I see it
people
all
that,
the time.
God, we should start, and everyone's like, oh, these arrogant people, but we should start a self-help podcast on the side. We're not going to, because there's no time in the day. And according to you, you have to make $90,000 more. And I think continuing down this road is the way to make it. And I'm kind of getting tired of working so hard. So I'm not going to start a second podcast. But right, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Every woman I know who grew up and saw their father or their grandfather hit their grandmother or mother at some point has been in a relationship with a man who has hit them 100%. And some of them recognize it and get out of it. And some of them, it takes a very long time for them to realize they are with someone that was just like the abusive relationship they saw their parents in. So it's hard in life, right? We all have to deal with things. So,
and by the way,
I would like to know, because I'm a Fairweather fan, I'd love to know more about her background with her parents, what she grew up seeing, because I bet that is very reflective of where she's at.
Interesting. And as we wrap up, three things. One, we're going to talk about Jackson Brittany speaking about dysfunctional relationships when we do our other stuff. Two, for everyone who wants us to recap the Valley, it is happening on my Patreon this Saturday. It's not the only thing I'm doing. I got a lot to say about the Valley. We're diving into it because everyone screamed, we don't want racism. We don't want politics on the screen. The whole damn episode was about whether this woman was a Republican. This woman, Michelle, was a Republican and or racist. And are they the same thing? Thank you, Shannen Doherty. We're talking about that, but we're not talking about just politics. I got some other things to talk about on Patreon this Saturday, but we're doing the Valley. And before we go, we're not saying that, whatever, but Lisa everyone says she favors the boys, maybe a little, she favors that. She loves that James Kennedy. They go way back to the old school days of the London streets and his mother. But I love this scene with Lisa where James is like a kid. James is like us. He is the Greek chorus. He's telling Lisa, this happened and that happened. And Lisa's like, what? And she slept with Max Boyens. And apparently he has a big dick. And James is you could see his face of Lisa's getting in on the drama. Oh, this is going to be good TV. It was great. I liked that scene. LVP, the winner. You talk about Bethenny Frankel winning Housewives. LVP. She has Vanderpump Rules. She has The Valley. She is a producer, guys. And I'm sure it's in her contract that anything that ever spins off, even remotely related to Vanderpump, she gets a piece of. And she has Vanderpump Villa now. This woman has 3 shows between Bravo and Peacock currently. And by the way, The Valley, with their 780,000 viewers, that is considered a hit. First of all, they're all paid nothing except for Jax and Brittany and Kristen. Jackson's paid the most. Kristen's probably paid very close there too. And Brittany's paid something between Kristen and everyone else. It's a cheap show to put on. 780 for The Valley is higher rated than 90% of the current Housewives that are on the damn show.
Wow.
That are on the damn TV.